Hi, everybody. We hope you're doing well. We continue to pray for you. We continue to miss you and hope and pray we continue to trust God together during these times. As we get back into the names of Jesus, I hope we could remember one of the biggest reasons Jesus identified these names with himself is to identify himself as God or with God. That every one of these names Jesus used was a connection to the Old Testament to say, I'm the Messiah, I'm God, don't miss it. And he said it in so many different ways. So I hope that first of all, we could just realize that Jesus himself, in so many ways, said he was God. We might look at certain verses and say, Jesus never said he was really God, but he did. He did in certain verses and culturally, that with the verbiage that he used in ways that people would connect his name or the name he was using to the God of the Old Testament or all over the place. So I hope that if that's one of your struggles of is Jesus really God, that these videos could answer that question, is that in every way Jesus said he was God. Now, are there things that are just always there in your life? Maybe there are people who are always there in your life, or situations like in Southern California right now. It's going to be 80 degrees this week, and it's the middle of winter, right? But at the same time, that's winter in Southern California, right? So on the one hand, I'm a little surprised, but I'm not totally surprised because it seems like almost every year we're here in Southern California and it's so warm. And of course, there's probably other reasons why it's getting so warm, but all that to say is it's always sunny in Southern California. Of course, obviously not always, but when you get an 80-degree day with clear skies and sun out and you feel like you should go to the beach, and then you check the calendar and it's January, and you go, oh, but I'm in Southern California. It makes sense. It's always there. I mean, in Indonesia, there were certain things that were always there, right? We always had guys on becaks, on like rickshaw, petty-cart bikes in front of our house. They were always there. It wasn't a bad thing. It was just like when they weren't there, something felt off. We always had chickens waking us up every morning. Just the co almost always at 5 or 5:30. Until we got used to it and we could sleep through it. We always had mosquitoes. They were just always there. I mean, even now in the pandemic, I'm always wearing my masks. Even sometimes when I come inside, I forget to take it off, right? Because it just feels like something should be there. And when I go without it, I almost feel wrong. Like something's wrong. I'm missing something, right? Because it's always there. Now, one of the aspects of the name that we'll look at today, of the many names that Jesus gave himself, is this concept that Jesus has always been there, he always is there, and he always will be there. This consistent presence of Jesus from the beginning of creation until the end of the world as we know it, and all throughout eternity. Now, he uses this name in Revelation chapter 1. So I'm going to read out of Revelation chapter 1, verse 17 and 18. And there's a couple times in the Old Testament where this name is used to refer to God. I'm going to read out of Isaiah chapter 48. So first out of Revelation chapter 1, verse 17 and 18. John says this, when I saw him, I fell at his feet as though dead. Then he placed his right hand on me, and he said, do not be afraid. I am the first and the last, which is the name we'll look at today. I am the living one. I was dead, and now look, I am alive forever and ever, and I hold the keys of death and Hades. And so we see this connection back in Isaiah with this being a name of God, the first and last, where in Isaiah 48 verse 12 says this, listen to me, Jacob, Israel, whom I have called. I am he, I am the first and the last. So as soon as Jesus says that, right, says that first and last, maybe for us it's not that big of a connection, but for people who were deeply connected to the Old Testament, when they hear that, they think of God. This is God. Jesus is God. He's always been there. He was there at the beginning. He's first. He always will be there, and he will be there in the end. He's the last. What's interesting, if you don't know this, is in the Revelation verses, he says, I'm the Alpha and Omega, right? And so Alpha and Omega are the first and the last letters of their alphabet, of the Greek alphabet at that time. So that's sort of him saying, I'm the bookends of everything. I was there at the beginning of creation. I've always been here. I will be here at the end when it is time for you to go one place or the other. When the world is over as we know it, I will be there as well. I will be there for eternity. So one of the meanings of Jesus saying he's the first and the last is that he's always there, and he will always be there, and he will be there at the end. But the second is that identification as God, of him saying, I am God. Because in the same way God in the Old Testament said, I'm the first and the last, Jesus in the New Testament said, I'm the first and the last. There's this aspect that we really, hopefully, will get, really embedded in our hearts and minds. Jesus, in so many ways, said he is God. And I think he said it that many ways so we wouldn't miss it, right? Do you ever have people just tell you things? It feels like so much, like they nag you, like they say it so many times. They keep telling you these things. They say them over and over. But the reason why they say it is because they want to make sure that you don't miss it, right? That you didn't miss it, that you didn't miss the opportunity, that you made sure you did it, that you made sure you got it. And that's what Jesus is trying to say with all of these names, but especially this one. I think we have to realize he's always with us. Whether we knew him or not, whether we were aware or not, he's been with us from the time we came into this world. Whether we knew it or realized it or not, he's been with us during the deepest, darkest, most painful moments of our life. Whether we believe it or not, or we know it or not, he will be there with us during the highs and the most exciting and joyous periods of life. And when it is time for us to breathe our last breath here on this earth, he will be with us as well. And if we have said yes to him and we trust him as our God, as our Savior, when we breathe that last breath, we will be with him for eternity as well, because he is the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last. If he will always be there, we really need to live our lives as if he is right there with us in every choice, in every decision, in every action, in every day that we go through. What would change if we realized or felt like Jesus was with us at all moments? Let me close with a verse out of Hebrews chapter 12, verse 2. It says this: as we fix our eyes on Jesus, we remember he is the pioneer and the perfecter of our faith. He is the author or finisher of our faith. He is in the first verse of the Bible and the last verse of the Bible. He wants to be with you at the beginning of your day and the end of your day. He wants to be involved in the lives of humanity, of every one of us, because we all matter to him. And I hope and pray that we could align our lives and our thinking and our actions and the goals we have in life to realize that the more we live for him, the more we get to experience him. God bless.